Welcome to the opening ceremony of the Executive Professional Program on Psychosocial Support and Conflict Transformation. I would like to welcome all of you, and we're so happy that you all arrived and you are joining us in this event. We will start with the opening speech of the Dean of the Political Sciences Faculty, the Acting Rector from the Social Sciences University of Ankara, Professor Nasuh Uslu. Thank you.
Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed professors of Social Sciences University of Ankara, dear press members, applicants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I would like to welcome you to the opening ceremony of Executive Professional Certificate Program and Psychosocial Support and Conflict Transformation. It is my honor and pleasure to join you this morning. Please accept my sincere thanks for the American Embassy for the funding and the International Organization for Migration for being a partner with our university in this program. Our university, which was founded in 2013, is the first boutique university of Turkey, focusing only on social sciences. It has 17 departments in 5 faculties and 5 research institutions. We also have a number of research centers. Contributing to the international literature on social sciences via research, projects, and publications is among our key purposes. We encourage our faculty members and students to work in national and international projects which oversee Turkey's societal structure, values, institutions, and process of change with an interdisciplinary approach. We aim to educate region and country specialists and researchers around Turkey's need with regard to its relations with the world. Centered in Ulus district of Ankara, of course this is Oran, but our main center is Ulus. Our university has also a mission to contribute to intellectual, social, economic, and cultural transformation of its environment. It is a historical environment, it's a special environment, you should see that area. The devastating war in our neighbor Syria has influenced our lives deeply. Turkey, sharing its longest border with Syria, is trying to bind up the wounds of those who had to flee their country. More than 3 million Syrians living in Turkey means that we have a huge responsibility. A responsibility that should be shared by the state, civil society, institutions, and universities, and so on. Being aware of our responsibility, we find this certificate program very important to contribute to the well-being of our Syrian and Turkish brothers and sisters. It is my belief and indeed my hope that this training will go in a long way in building capacity in the demanding area of psychosocial support and conflict transformation. I am sure that all participants will take the training seriously and will translate the acquired knowledge and skills into a meaningful development. I once again deeply appreciate the organizers and founders of this training for the foresight and for choosing our university in this noble cause. It is my ardent hope that all participants will gain useful ideas and replicate them in their fight for us. Thank you all again.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite IOM Chief of Mission in Turkey, Mr. Lado Gvilava.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my colleagues at International Organization for Migration, I'm pleased to welcome you here today to the opening of the Executive Certificate Program of Psychosocial Support and Conflict Transformation. This is a special program that will positively affect lives of thousands in Turkey. I want to especially thank US State Department Bureau of Population, Refugees and Migration, BRN, who is funding this program, and our kind hosts and the partners, the Social Science University of Ankara. Just coming here, I was really astonished with these luxurious, splendid facilities, and first time in my life I wish to be 30 years younger to join you. Maybe still not late. For over 20 years that I work in the field of migration, I've never seen such a complex situation as what we are facing today. People around the world are becoming increasingly mobile. Add to this factor that ongoing conflicts, man-made disasters, natural disasters are happening, and it's a recipe for the largest global displacement in the history. Currently 65 million people around the world are displaced. This is about the same number of people who live in the whole of United Kingdom. The sheer number of displaced people can complicate effective migration management policies. Nowhere in this complexity so evident as here in Turkey, who hosts the largest refugee population in the world. Over 3.1 million people seeking international protection live in Turkey, of which nearly 2.9 million are Syrians. Those are astonishing figures. When forced to flee because of the war, many refugees have survived distressful experiences. Psychosocial support can assist refugees to cope with distressing experiences and prevent mental health challenges. As the UN Migration Agency, IOM, it's a bit difficult because we just joined UN, IOM is strategically placed to provide comprehensive assistance on the broad spectrum of migration-related fields. For more than 65 years, IOM has worked to help ensure orderly and human management of the migration. IOM's origin began from the aftermath of the World War II to resettle European refugees, and our work continues to promote international cooperation on migration issues, to assist in the search for practical solutions to migration problems and provide humanitarian assistance to migrants in need, including refugees and internally displaced people. Through our operations here in Turkey, IOM is working to meet the short, medium, and long-term needs of all migrants, including refugees. IOM's work provides direct humanitarian assistance to refugees, as well as promotes community programs, social cohesion, and integration. Additionally, through our migration management programs, IOM supports the Turkish government to strengthen its capacity. However, the sheer number of people seeking international protection in Turkey has stretched resources for all services providers, and that has resulted in adoption of negative coping mechanisms for refugees and their host communities. This poses increased challenges to social cohesion in some communities. For these reasons, the Executive Certificate Program of Psychosocial Support and Conflict Transformation is so important. This program aims to strengthen capacity of both Turkish and Syrian professionals working in NGOs and some governmental institutions to provide psychosocial support to affected communities by building capacity of those directly assisting refugees. We are contributing to the resilience of impacted communities and increasing social cohesion between refugees and host communities. This certificate program builds upon IOM's Turkey's existing psychosocial support programs in our community centers in Istanbul and in southern eastern Turkey. Additionally, our migration management project teams have delivered induction sessions on psychosocial first aid and psychosocial experiences of migrants to our partners in Turkish institutions like Directorate General of Migration Management and Turkish Coast Guard. IOM's multi-pronged approach to psychosocial support is now broadened through the certificate program to include the hardworking humanitarian and students like you. I would like to close once again thanking our host, Social Sciences, University of Ankara. We are implementing this program, and PRM, again, whose financial support has made this possible. Last but not least, to our colleague, Guglielmo, who is the father of psychosocial programs in IOM, and we are glad to see you, Gulli, here. I also would like to wish you students the best of luck in this certificate program and salute you for valuable work assistance affected communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The floor now is for Mrs. Karen Decker, Director of the Syria Transition Assistance Response Team at the U.S. Embassy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, like Mr. Gavrila, I'd like to know where I register to take classes here. This is a fantastic facility. It really is. So thank you to Professor Uslu and the University of Social Sciences in Ankara and to IOM for organizing this training. It's our privilege to pay for it and to work with you to build this capacity. The United States commends Turkey for its steadfast leadership in the humanitarian response to the Syrian crisis. Professor Uslu talked about Turkey's responsibility. When I talk to Americans about the refugee situation in Turkey, I talk about Turkey's heart and compassion. You are host to more than 3 million refugees. This is without comparison in the world. The response is an example for the rest of the world. So we applaud Turkey for the work it has done to provide healthcare, education, shelter, and other assistance to refugees. And we also applaud all that Turkey continues to do to ensure the dignity and development of the self-reliance of this vulnerable population. The United States remains committed to supporting Turkey's leadership of the humanitarian response. Since the start of this crisis, the U.S. government has provided approximately $6 billion in humanitarian aid. About half of that assistance goes to displaced and conflict populations inside Syria. The other half goes to support refugees throughout the region, including $447 million here in Turkey. But the numbers are really only part of the story. And does not tell the full story of our commitment to the millions of Syrians who have been displaced by the conflict. Here in Turkey, we are investing heavily in education for refugee children, multi-service and community centers to provide refugees with support in their daily lives, and finding projects to increase refugee skills and access to employment. One of the most critical areas where we believe refugees need extra care is in dealing with the trauma they have survived. Whether it is the suffering of losing a family member, surviving the daily hardships of siege, or fleeing persecution and torture from the Syrian regime, an entire generation is struggling to deal with the psychological consequences of this war. And that is where we hope the graduates of this program, all of you, will be able to help. We are very proud of our partnership with the university and with IOM to support this program, and I look forward to hearing about the contributions that all of you can make together with us to helping refugees both mitigate and heal, and ultimately reclaim their future with hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our last speech will be from IOM, Head of the Mental Health, Psychosocial Response and Intercultural Communication Section, Mr. Guglielmo Schininà.
So, respected Professor Nasuh Uslu and Mrs. Karen Decker, dear professors, colleagues, and mainly, in my case, students, I'm very honored to join you in the opening event of this certificate program. and to teach, I will teach the introductory module, but also I will come back. You are not going to get rid of me so easily. This certificate is a part of a wider response of IOM to the Syria crisis in all the countries that are affected, inside Syria, in Lebanon, in Jordan, a little bit also in Egypt, and now in Turkey. We have been organizing 2 executive professional masters in Lebanon, preceding this activity. A lot of trainings, we cannot do a real official certificate inside Syria, but a lot of trainings inside Syria, and now we are also starting to do it in Jordan. Why we do that? Because we believe that these countries have been extremely generous. As an European, I cannot compare what is happening and the naturality with which Lebanon, Jordan, Turkey have accepted refugees in their territories compared to what is happening in my country and countries in my region, unfortunately. And therefore, I think it's our duty to be close to these governments who are facing anyhow challenges in a response that is new for them, and to be close to the professionals like you that make a difference every day with the work in the field. We cannot pretend that people can respond to abnormal situations like this with what they already know. There is a need to enhance your capacity. And I want to thank you, really I want to thank you, because of the work you do every day in the field, which is necessary and challenging, but also for having decided to, while doing this work, taking another challenge. This will be a demanding course. Will suck up most of your free time for the next 6 months. It's already challenging what you do, this will add up. And this just tell about your quality as persons, as professionals. You do, but you want to do it better, you want to help the others better. And so thank you very much for that. We also hope that this will be not only a space in which you learn, but a space in which you can help yourself, in which you can vent your challenges, your feelings, because we think that this is necessary as learning new skills. You help, sometimes you come from the same situation and then you help, and this is challenging, we know that. So we will try to account for this throughout the course. Why this diploma, why the title of this diploma? So we really believe, as I said, we are part of a group of people around the region. We really believe that we need professionals around the region who operate and think alike. Psychosocial support is a buzzword. Many people use it, but then there is not a clear framework of understanding behind it very often. And this opens space to malpractices, vague understandings and so on. We really believe, and that's why we spend resources in doing high-profile training courses, that there is a need for core professionals who can change the attitude and the perception of psychosocial work around the region, and then can train others, can support others. As I said, we count on you a lot. Yours is also a responsibility. You were chosen among many who applied, because we believe in your work particularly. We believe the work that you're doing in certain regions, but it's not that everything will be finished with this course. We'll still be in touch with you. We'll still work together as a community of professionals to, as I said, promote and mainstream the right concept of psychosocial support in the region. Consider that Mazen Abul Hosn, who is the maker of this, this possibility, Amal, who is the project manager of this specific program, are all former graduates of our masters. That's how we keep in touch with our graduates. So it's not something that is going to finish now, but will continue. Why a diploma in psychosocial support? Because, as we said, assistance to conflict and disaster-affected population in educational, cultural, community, religious, all settings is crucial to the well-being of communities. I'm not talking only about the migrant community and the challenges they faced in the past, but consider that both communities, all communities have to be made resilient to migration and displacement. Our communities, as generous as they are, at a certain point reach a moment of crisis in the assistance provided, of fears, sense of being overwhelmed. So both communities need to be helped in being resilient to migration and displacement, and that's particularly important. Then why the link with dialogue? There is a personal issue, no? It's Lado, how many years? 20, no? That we know each other.
More,
So-
don't say everything.
It's quite evident, unfortunately, no? And we keep on working in different emergencies. I think, now we have programs in 42 countries, and very often we go back to the same country all over again. It's good, to cope, to make people cope with the consequences of crisis, but we need, also for our personal well-being, to try to tackle also the root causes. There cannot be internal peace without peace outside, and that's the truth. We can help people cope, be resilient, be agent of their own changes, but ultimately, what solves the situation is peace. And we need to work on that, at least to make an effort, our effort. We are not geopolitical powers, we are not experts, we are small people, we are helpers, we are people who every day go out there and work with communities. But I think it's important that we give our contribution to promoting dialogue and transform conflict as well. This is necessary for the people we work with. It's necessary for us, not so that we know that we are making a bigger contribution, is necessary also for the communities we work with and for the future, we believe. There are a lot of also technical and scientific reasons why this link is profoundly necessary and organic, but this we will discuss them during the lectures, not now. In this master we will, in this course actually is a diploma, we will reflect, learn, tell and play. So we will be playing a lot. And we will start just immediately after. We are going to a room where we are not going to talk, to have presentations, but just to play together for a while. This is because we believe that the body in this process is as important as the mind is. And because we believe that relation is the key word and social supports are the key word in psychosocial responses. So we will start doing it immediately. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. We will play a lot together in safe ways. But why I wanted to say that? Because I want to say that playing, so abnormal circumstances require creativity in responses. And creativity comes only from processes where you can play out situations, and that will be an important part of what we are going to do in this course, together with the reflection, with the tools, etc. Finally, some thanks. I want to thank the IOM mission in Turkey, because you are adding a very necessary puzzle to our program in the region, Lado, Mazen, obviously. And then to the Social Sciences University of Ankara, for your generous hospitality, and for this will be a collaboration. Usually our relation with the university aim at empowering the university. Now we are doing this together. We hope in the next generation you'll be able to do it probably by yourself, and this can continue to be a long-standing enhancement for your capacity. And I want to thank the government of the United States, in this case the department, the Bureau for Population, Refugees and Migration, but my section, our activities worldwide are for the 80% funded by the United States government through its different bodies, OFDA, USAID, and PRM exactly. So we thank you very much, because this has helped us to reach probably 720,000 refugees and displaced people in the last years around the world with quality psychosocial support. We hope that this will continue to be the case, but we know that we hope. And then I want to thank also the professors, both from the university here, but also the ones in our expert networks worldwide, who basically with no notice said yes, as soon as we proposed them, to be part of this initiative, from Greece, from the United States, from the UK, and so on. We'll see each other in the training room shortly, and thank you very much again.
Thank you so much for all of you for the valuable and encouraging speeches. Now, before our students will start with the first module, we would like to invite you to the cocktail in the next room, and then we will all leave from the exit to take a photo for all of us. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.